so hard. That's what she said. Hey guys, What the Female here. Today I'm going to be making a chicken bacon Alfredo pizza. It's a little bit on the healthy side, might be a little bit on the pricey side, but not extremely. First off, what you got chocolate everywhere. The first thing you are going to need is obviously your chicken. Mine is not shredded up. I was not thinking ahead. I should have been. You're gonna want shredded chicken. So if you're doing it the way I am, you're also going to need a pan filled with water and you're gonna want to boil it. You can go to the store and get Alfredo sauce that's like light in calories and light in fat. The only problem with those is they're really heavy in sodium, like over 300-400 milligrams. So we're gonna be making our own today. It's slightly on the healthier side. So you're gonna want a saucepan, just a drizzle of olive oil. The olive oil is $4 or $5. I think this one was actually $8 or $9, but as you can see, there's a lot of it. You can use butter if you want, any kind of butter. I do get the Fleshman's olive oil butter, which is actually pretty good for you. You're gonna want garlic. This stuff is a little more expensive. It's like $4, but you can get cloves for like $1 or $2. You just have to break them and get the little pieces out. You're gonna want sea salt, just to flavor it a little bit. I have smoked sea salt. This is like $3. Otherwise, you can get this big thing. It's light salt, 50% less sodium than table salt, so it's a little bit healthier. This is like $4 or $5. It's Morton's. You're gonna want whipping cream, a pint, probably, depending on how many you're making. I'm making 2, so I am gonna want a pint. This was $1.85 for this little thing, for roundies. So if you have roundies in the area or any kind of whipping cream, that's good. And then you're gonna want Parmesan that you have to grate yourself. None of that stuff in the can thing. That's not good. So you're gonna want a cheese grater too. This is going to thicken the sauce. So depending on how much you want it thick, add it slowly because you don't want to over thicken it. For your base, I don't like thin pizza. I like thicker pizza. So we got this naan bread. It kind of hardens a little bit in the oven, but it's also light and fluffy. I got the garlic naan. What you can do is you can get a tortilla and bake it first just a little bit to just crispen it up a little bit in the oven. That'll be your thin pizza. Then you want bacon. If you want to go the healthy route, I suggest turkey bacon. It's actually kind of a little bit cheap too. A lot of times it'll be on sale. Otherwise, whatever's on sale, it doesn't matter. You're gonna chop it up into little pieces. Okay, so as you can see, I have just one. Just because we're gonna shred it, we don't need a lot. Then we're gonna wanna turn it up. We'll go medium because we want it to boil, we want it to cook. So we're gonna leave this here and then do an awesome little jump cut to the next step when this is all ready. Now that the chicken is cooked, we are going to chop it up. Ready? See you in a few. Yay! Doesn't matter how you chop it up. You can chop it up by knife. You can just tear it into little pieces once it's cold or cooled. Or you can put the boneless pieces in a chop it and chop it up that way. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to look pretty. Then you're going to take 2 of the garlics and you're going to chop them up. I chop them up into pieces about this big, not too big, not too small. You're going to throw them in here. And then you're going to add a little bit of olive oil. And then you're going to add your cream. And you want to cook it on about medium height or medium warmth, whatever, stirring frequently. You want to wait until it starts simmering, where you get the little bubbles. You're not quite boiling where it's like the big bubbles. It's just little bubbles. And then it's going to start going down. This is when we're going to want to start adding our Parmesan. Now you're going to want like a cup or 2 of this. Oh, before I forget, you're also going to want to add sea salt into that before you add the whipped cream. We're going to take Parmesan and we're going to slowly add it and kind of start to thicken it up a bit. Add it bit by bit so that you don't over thicken it, but you want to start thickening it enough where it can go on a pizza, basically. So you don't want it like this. Like that's gonna drip off instantly and it's gonna suck. You don't want that. So you're just going to slowly add it because we don't want to over thicken it. You don't want something goopy or anything like that. Okay, now as we can see, it's not like really runny, but it's also not like thick. If you add any more Parmesan than 2 or 2.5 cups, you're gonna get a really Parmesan-y taste. I ended up having to add 2 more garlics and some more salt and some pepper to it just to get the Parmesan-y whipped cream taste out of it. You're going to want to keep spinning it. You're going to want it on not a low setting, but not a medium setting either, kind of in between, just to get some of the Parmesan to melt down a little bit more. While you're doing this, you can also be starting on your bacon just to crisp it up. Even if this isn't done before your sauce, you can start putting together the rest of your pizza before then. So this is kind of a multiple thing to do, but you're right here to do both of them, so it's not a big deal. Next, you got your bread. Now with this bread, there's 2 sides. There's this nice rough side, and then there's the soft side. We want the rough side because that is what's going to hold our Alfredo. So now we're actually going to want these on pans. So what I did is I put a little bit of olive oil on the pan. You can do it the long way and kind of turn the pan to get the oil to go all over the place. It's long and tedious. What I did is I took some paper towel, like lightly, very lightly, rubbed it around just enough so that it will coat the pan and the pizzas won't stick, and it will add a little bit of flavoring. So that's a plus. Before we spoon this mixture onto our pizzas, you're gonna want to take a little bit of lemon juice. Just a tiny little itty bitty splash. That's it. Just a tiny splash. The second it hits, you stop. This is actually going to set your sauce. The acidity in it sets your sauce. You're not going to taste it, so don't worry. But you will see a difference in the flavor. But see how it's not as runny anymore. It's more soupy, and that's what we want. So now we are going to take this and spoon it onto here. Now, as you can see, I left a little bit of a ledge. This will give us a little bit of leeway. Some people don't like ledges, some like crusts, you know, but we do have to allow for some of the cheese to melt along the crust so that it can seal some of this in. We don't want it to be dripping all over the place. So kind of pat it around, get it a little bit closer to the edge, not a lot. Next we add the chicken. Yummy. How much chicken on there is your preference. Next we add just a small portion of the bacon we made. We don't want to use all of it because, well, there's more nummy stuff where that came from. And then we're gonna add the rest of our bacon to add more flavor, because who doesn't like bacon? And if they don't like bacon, they're wrong. That's what it should look like once you are done putting all the toppings on it, pretty much. We're gonna put the oven to 425. I forgot to preheat it. Shouldn't take too long to preheat, and you'll throw it in the oven just like any other pizza. Keep an eye on it. I'd say try 5 minutes at first, and then depending on how melted you want the cheese, how much you want it brown or whatever, it's your preferences that matter. But we'll just throw it in and see how that goes. Time to put it in the oven. The timer. Clean up while you wait. So since I didn't use all of this, it is savable, so I can use it for later. Yay! Reusability! Okay, this should be the finished product. Hey, it looks like the Millenium Falcon! That's awesome. Let's try her out. No. Very good. Anyway, this has been What the Female with my Alfredo Millennium Falcon pizza. Pew pew. See you later. Bye.